What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, and I am sitting out here in off of 95 and 70 out in North Carolina. Just got another load going out to Edwardsville or something like that, Kansas. So had about 3 hours left on my clock when I got that load assignment. The load assignment was 78 minutes away, and I needed a washout. I made it to this Petro with 24 minutes left on my clock. And for any of you guys that have come through North Carolina, I'm at that Iowa 80 Petro that's out here, the one that has a big chrome shop, massive parking lot, things like that. But what I wanted to talk about, after I had a chance to think about it, was I wanted to critique the Prime email that they sent me regarding the $1,000 deductible on my truck when that deer hit it. Now, like I said, to me, it's the cost of doing business. You're going to be able to write some of that stuff off on your taxes. Plus, my emergency fund has more than enough money to cover it. As a matter of fact, I really haven't touched much of the money that I've made since I started going solo on my own. So it wasn't the money, it was how the email was formed, and it took me a while to put my finger on it, but once I realized it, I think I could tell you why it irritated me so much. Now, my past career, I would probably send out as many, depending on the time of year and what the climate was, it could be up to 100 emails a day, and a lot of those were templated emails, but they came off much more personal. So first of all, I'm going to read the email that was sent to me, and then I'm going to tell you how you change that email. So here we go. This is to advise that we have charged you your $1,000 tractor deductible for accident damages on 3/18/2020. If you have any questions, please contact the leasing department. Okay, listen. I had to give a lot of bad news over 20 years of mortgages, and one thing that I realized is these emails, first of all, have to have 3 different steps when you're going to be breaking bad news to somebody. First, you need the lubrication, then you fuck them. I mean, it's not fucking them, but you give them the bad news, and then you cuddle with them. So how would I change this email? Hey, Lyle, glad that you're doing okay after that accident. I'm sure that was whatever. I'm sure that was a lot to go through. Just wanted to let you know that we will be charging you your $1,000 tractor deductible for accident damages on 3/18/2020. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the leasing department at phone number, even though we have access to all that stuff, phone number important, and then end it like, we'd like to thank you very much for being a valuable member of our team at Prime, and then just kind of end it like that. So you lubricate them, you fuck them, then you cuddle them. That's it right there. That's a standard template that, not just me, but a lot of people in business use that same kind of you sandwich the bad news between good news, or not necessarily good news, but you sandwich it between something that basically makes you feel a little bit better about the situation. Another way that they could have made this email better was anytime you give somebody options, it gives them a feeling of more control. So here you go, right here. Let's get back into the email. This is to advise that we have charged you your $1,000 tractor deductible for accidents, blah, blah, blah. This is the best way to do it. Instead of just saying, this is to advise you that we already did some shit, it would be like, you mention the $1,000 deductible, then you say, it looks like you have enough in your emergency fund. Would you like us to charge it to the truck or take it directly from your emergency fund? Really, the money's money. It doesn't matter how you cut it. But anytime you give somebody an option, sales 101, First thing you never do is tell anybody anything, and if you do, you give them some options. Makes people feel better. Now, I know that trucking isn't sales, but they do have a sales department here, so maybe the sales department needs to come down and tell people how to formulate emails with a little bit more, what do they call that shit when doctors, like they really don't give a fuck, but they go in there, what's that stuff called? Bedside manner, or bedside something or other. Anyway, that's all they need. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you how I would have worded this email and why it kind of irritated me. And you know what? Sometimes it's not me, because sometimes I am empathetic enough to like think about, how would somebody else react to this? Let's say it's somebody that did just start leasing that may not have disposable funds, or the disposable funds, may not have as much as I do. I mean, I did just come off of home time, so things were pretty lean in terms of what the paycheck was going to be coming out of home time. So some people, I don't know, I just, it doesn't really affect me as much as I think it could potentially affect somebody else. So I'm always kind of thinking about how would the average person think about this, Anyway, let's not make this too long. This load I have, my fleet manager specifically told me I can get it there 24 hours early. Listen, I didn't want to pick up this load today. I was about to go to sleep. But you know what? It's about 1,100 miles away, 1,150. I would normally knock that out in 2 drive shifts, but I got to be hitting them hills again in 40 and all that kind of stuff, and going through a little part of West Virginia and all that stuff. So these mountains are going to be killing me. So I'll be lucky, I think, if I get 500 miles or 470 miles without these mountains. But we're going to get there as fast as we can, drive as early as possible. I'm heading out like 11 o'clock tonight, something like that, so I should be able to find all the parking in the morning. Anyway, thanks for letting me just kind of talk about some non-trucking related stuff with you guys. It really makes me feel good to get that off my chest. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Trucking Transportation. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.